Well, as the song says, it's getting hot in here. Of course, we heard from TTFA Communication Director Sean Fuentes before the break. Still got Lasana Liburd on the inside, and he's known for his tough tackling. You know, Lasana tackled right into that response to what Sean said.
Now, I obviously sympathize with the financial problems that the TTFA has. Of course, I write about it a lot of the times in terms of the coaches not being paid and so on. The thing is, I just don't see any relevance to the case with the World Cup players at all. You know, if they didn't have the money, they shouldn't have promised the money. You know, when they promise the money, they must know where the money is coming from to pay the players, you know. And it has been several months, you know, obviously, since last September. And I just don't think talking about whether or not the maxi taxi driver has been paid has anything to do with the World Cup players, you know, whatsoever. It's a very, very simple case. The players were promised some money in a courtroom legally. I don't think that discussions in court centered around any maxi taxi drivers or anything like that. And the time came for the players to be paid, and they're supposed to be paid, you know, and nothing else really matters.
Well, what seems to be coming out here as well, it seems like the TTFA are victims of their own past. Do you think it's fair now for them to come out and cry, we, that everybody's attacking us now, when in fact they are victims of their on past?
Well, firstly, I think that a lot of people there at the TTFA right now were there in this past that they're speaking about, you know, whether it be Sean Fuentes was there under Jack Warner, Raymond Timke was there under Jack Warner. No, I'm not trying to single them out and say that they were policy makers or anything of the sort, but all the same, they were a part of the old regime, and there are ways that the new regime could clean up the matter if they wanted. They could simply take their past special advisor to court themselves to get the money back that they claim disappeared with him, if they so wish. If not, you know, well, let them try to find other revenue streams, but there's a debt to be paid. All
right, well, ain't no sunshine here right now, but let's push aside that dark cloud to find the silver lining.
Yeah.
Upcoming friendly against Iran, you know, tell me about your views on that.
It's a great game to get, you know. Of course, we saw Stephen Hart, you know, in the paper today, that's why they 868, you know, and he's speaking about the importance of getting his team to play against the very best, you know. As he said, if his players, you know, the Attila Guerras and whoever else aspire to be the best, then why not let them, you know, meet the best face to face? And you're talking about people like Lionel Messi and Sergio Aguero and so on. You know, of course.
You're an Argentine fan, so you're licking your lips in anticipation for that game.
There you go, there you go. I mean, it's going to be a very tough game, you know, no two ways about it, you know, but all the same, we should look at it from the positives, I think. And I think it's better that we have games like this than we didn't have them.
Stephen Hart doing a good job since he's come in?
I think he's done a good, sensible job as coach. You know, a good, sensible job. I think he's probably gotten the most out of his team. I think definitely Kenwyn Jones, you know, his form of late has been unprecedented for the last couple of months, and I think Hart deserves a lot of credit for that.
Well, speaking of Kenwyn Jones, he's made some big moves heading off to Cardiff City. Good move for Kenwyn Jones after all the tralala in the press recently.
Well, as a player, you want to play. You want to play games, you know, and Cardiff, you know, would give him the chance to do that. So it is understandable that he would. You know, I assume that a team trying to hold on to his premiership status, you know, would spend to do that. All right, you know, it's a league got a lot of money for being in the Premier League. It's a big drop from Stoke City to a team that is struggling to stay alive in the Premier League right now. You know, especially when they had some other teams that were sniffing around. We were talking about Swansea at one point, and they were in the UEFA Cup this year. They're talking about Everton, and you can see Everton is also a team that's on the up. You know, funny enough, we saw Lukaku get injured this week. You know, if Kenwyn had gone there thinking he was back up to Lukaku, yeah, he could have been the main man this weekend. You know, but that's how it goes. You know.
Well, can we finally see Kenwyn fulfilling his potential? I mean, he's come in the Premiership with so much potential, but we are yet to see that potential materialize. Do you think Cardiff could be the team that brings that potential out of Kenwyn Jones?
We hope so. You know, you always want, every player wants to be remembered fondly somewhere. You know, we want to have, you know, Dwight York had his days at Manchester United. Sturgeon helped Birmingham to get to the Premier League. You know, Carlos Edwards is a legend at Wrexham and so on. And you don't think Kenwyn really, you know, set fires alight anywhere. You know, he was decent at Southampton, still coming up. Sunderland, you know, he was okay. Stoke, he had some okay periods. You know, but he really needs to establish himself somewhere, I think. You know, he's doing a lot better in the national team now, and that's really good. You know, and it's good to see. And hopefully he can do that at Cardiff too.
Well, W Connection, they seem very invincible right now in the local leagues. Are they unbeatable?
No, you're never unbeatable. You're never unbeatable, you know. But they're doing very well. It's a very, very solid team. I think that their strength really lies in defense, to be honest. You know, and Gerard Williams is quite a player, and he's the guy that does so much work that goes unnoticed. And it allows them then to, you know, play the numbers game. You know, stay solid in the back and wait for the opportunity. And there's some good attackers like Jovan Jones and Neil Benjamin and everything else.
Sharon Winchester seems to
Sharon
be doing
Winchester, you know, he's building up. He hasn't played for quite some time, so he isn't even, I would think, near to his peak just yet. He probably needs 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks to get there. But Connection definitely the #1 team in the country right now.
Well, it's interesting now looking at the chasing pack. It seems to be a foot race almost a second place. You see Northeast Stars, Point Fortin Civic Centre. Police in there.
Yeah.
4 teams tied on 17 points right now in second spot.
Right, and second spot, of course, carries you into CONCACAF, so that's a big plus for any ambitious team. So it makes this league a lot more interesting. You know, usually you would have maybe 2 or 3 teams break away towards the top. Of course, this is a league with no relegation. You know, so it could put a damper on things later in the season. But now we have from 2nd to 8th. All having a realistic shot at going to CONCACAF.
What about Caledonia AIA from CONCACAF to scraping the bottom these days? What's going on with Cali?
Well, not quite scraping the bottom, you know, but definitely they're struggling to get a run at games. I think offensively has been a problem. You can understand it. At the start of the season, they just were not clicking. And from maybe December, they you know, put their heads down, they've seen the application, and they're a lot more difficult to beat now. You know, but sometimes they kind of give away something and they've sacrificed the offensive spark that we knew them for, you know, before. So they really need to get some confidence going and get a striker to get some goals.
Well, I've got 30 seconds remaining. The ICC proposes a 2-tier relegation in Test match cricket. Fair or unfair?
Definitely unfair. You know, any league, as they say, you're only as strong as the weakest link. You know, and to create a gap between the top nations and the rest, you know, is a recipe for disaster. I think it could be a very, very negative blow for Test cricket.
And well, somebody needs to buy some hacks or cough jobs, as I said earlier, for the West Indies Cricket Board, because they seem to have no voice in this matter right now. Yeah. Is that a wise decision by the WICB? We see Bangladesh making noise. We see other teams coming out, players coming out now and talking against it. But it seems that the West Indies Cricket team, or the WICB, in fact, no voice. Yeah,
I think they're trying to get to the bottom quicker than we thought they would. You know, I don't know. Turkey's voting for Thanksgiving.
Lasana Liburd. Of course, you can check him out at wired868.com. We're going to come back with so much more inside the review.